Things are being thrown. There's no room for this in the sport. There's no room for the Davis brothers to be in the building tonight. The police escorted them out. You saw a stroller being moved.
His jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting.
The hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch.
Tensions hit a boiling point backstage as GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach locked eyes ahead of their rematch. But Roach wasn't rattled. He kept his cool. Tuning out Davis's trash talk, for him, it's all about what happens in the ring. Confident in his preparation, Roach believes he'll be the one with his hand raised when the final bell rings.
The outside critics, I know what I could do in the ring, and that's the only thing that matters, honestly, is that I go out, give it my all, and perform, and most likely, 9 times out of 10 when I do that, I'll be victorious.
Lamont Roach isn't buying into the hype around Davis's punching power. Calm and composed, Roach confidently said he's faced harder hitters in the past and that Davis doesn't scare him. His quiet confidence is rooted in experience, not ego. He's coming to win, not be intimidated by reputations.
I think the hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He a hard hand motherfucker.
In their first fight, Davis's unexpected knee in the 9th round created instant chaos and changed the conversation. That moment, along with Roach's poised response, reshaped how fans viewed the underdog, no longer just a challenger, but the man who truly tested Tank. It's why many now believe Roach could take over in the rematch.
Tank did that, so I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He got a little distracted, didn't he, in the fight?
That wasn't the same GervontaDavis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids and I had the same thing. I went through the same when I fought Andre. That burning my eyes, so I cut that off.
Recent training clips show a new version of Davis, sharper, stronger, and mentally laser focused. His intense workouts and confident online presence suggest one thing: he's not just preparing, he's preparing to dominate. Fans are feeling the shift and expecting a dangerous version of Tank to show up on fight night. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. praised Davis's explosive style, noting his ability to overwhelm opponents with both force and finesse. Though Jones admits the outcome can swing either way, he believes Tank's commanding presence in the ring will once again prove too much for Roach to handle.
Saturday night, GervontaDavis versus Lamont Roach. What are we expecting from this fight?
Well, we're expecting Gervonta just continue to show us his dominance and show us who he really is. It's really a coming out party for Roach, but we kind of ever seen him a lot. So he get to show people what he has too. And usually when you get two guys who are boxers amateurs, it's going to equate to a good fight for the first few rounds. But when they're in the pro rounds takeover, we'll find out, has Roach adjusted to being a pro yet? Or is Tank too superior now as a pro? And that's where the difference will come in. He got a good back foot game like that, and you understand boxing like he understands that. He gonna make it rough for anybody. But, you know, Tank is a different animal too. So, it's a great fight. That's why everybody want to see it. We can't just look at it and say, oh, he gonna win, oh, he gonna win.
Many believe Davis was off his game the first time, whether due to personal issues or a flawed strategy. But this time, with everything on the line, he's dialed in. His words and actions make it clear this isn't just about getting even, it's about reclaiming his spot at the top and silencing every doubter.
So breaking news, Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach 2 is set for August 16th in Las Vegas. And this is a rematch of one of the most controversial fights in recent memory, where Roach arguably won 7 to 8 rounds of that fight, and then Tank took a voluntary knee in round 9, which wasn't ruled a knockdown, but ultimately it was scored a majority draw. Now in the rematch, I do expect Tank to look much better than he did in the first fight. I don't think that was his best performance by any means. And that means being more active in the early rounds, not just staying on the ropes looking for counters. And I'm sure he'll be willing to exchange more with Roach this time around. The left hands, the combinations, the body shots. That's where he had the most success in the first fight. And Roach, he just needs to stick to what made him so successful in the first fight. His forward pressure, staying behind that jab and right hand. But most importantly, he wasn't scared to take it to Tank, but he also didn't get too aggressive. You know, most of Tank's opponents, if they're scared of the power, they'll sit back on the ropes, get slowly broken down, or if they end up getting too aggressive, they get caught with the counterpunch. But Roach, he was sharp that whole fight. You know, I would go Tank in the rematch. I think he has a lot more to show this time around. But Roach did prove to be a very tough test. But you guys let me know who you got.
For Roach, the goal isn't just victory, it's a knockout. His training has been relentless, fueled by a desire to make a statement that shakes up the boxing world. A clean, dominant win over Davis could rocket him into elite status and cement his name as one of the sport's next big stars.
That you sent him to retirement earlier.
My initial plan is to win, but every time I fight, I'm trying to knock somebody out. So, so you know, if that happens in the midst of it, you know, that'd be a blessing. That'd be definitely something that I work for, because I work my ass off. But if he on his way out, why not kick his ass out? It does in a sense, but yeah, it do for sure. I ain't gonna lie. I like to prove people wrong, and I damn sure like to prove myself right. So it definitely gives me an incentive. And like I said before, I've been here before. The Hector fight, they had me duck. Right now, they really got me. They really got me.
Roach has spoken with conviction about his camp, claiming he's more than ready for whatever Davis brings. It's not cockiness, it's a quiet certainty built through hard work. He believes he has the tools, the adaptability, and the heart to control the fight on his terms.
Beat 30 people, knocked out, 28 of them, right? Mm-hmm. What makes you different?
He probably can't answer that question. He probably can't answer that question. But it's the skill, the will. I got the whole package, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not sitting there waiting to get hit by nobody, especially somebody that's supposed to be a power puncher. Mm-hmm. That's evidently a power puncher. Mm-hmm. I got too much.
Coach Greg Hackett sees both fighters walking into this rematch with everything to lose. He believes neither man has a clear edge that'll come down to razor-sharp execution. For Davis especially, Hackett warns one slip in focus could cost him the fight. Precision is the name of the game.
Rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp and, training with this person, training with that person.
Yeah.
Who has the edge heading into the rematch?
Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45, Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130. And not only did he not get knocked out, he performed and possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont do have a slight edge just because he did what he wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people go in there and they very obedient to Tank's power, and Lamont wasn't that night. Lamont wasn't having it, and he said he wasn't having it. He said it before. Y'all tripping. Y'all must be really like tripping. So I guess we was tripping.
Could we see the most focused Gervonta Davis after him getting so much backlash for the performance, for the taking a knee, etc.?
This would be the night we have to see the most focused TV. Because if he's not the most focused, then he gonna be in trouble. It's just that simple. This is the night you gotta be not on your A game, you gotta be on your everything game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have everything with you that night, and you can't play about it. And you gotta mean it. Every step gotta be counted for, and he know that. So I'm looking for this just to be a great fight. Great fight.
Who you picking to win?
Former champ Mikey Garcia offered a grounded take. Davis has the tools, the power, and the experience. But Garcia warns, if his head's not in it, none of that matters. Mental clarity is everything. He said, if Davis isn't fully locked in, he might as well not step in the ring.
And hopefully, I'd like to see it.
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight.
he kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Fuck, surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, you know. And maybe they get a third fight, you know, after that. Who knows? Maybe
it turns the markets back out.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup, and they say, you know, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you know, you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think
the edge.
I'm not a psychiatrist, bro. I don't know. Everybody's a little different. What I got to say is, like, if you're dealing with any mental health, it seems to be a very common thing. If you don't feel that you're 100% dedicated or 100% capable of blocking out, you know, personal life issues or whatever to get in the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're...
It seems like a lot of fighters
if you're
going through stuff and they get in the
ring. If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him fucking do it. Let him do it. I don't know. Dude.
Coach Kenny Ellis acknowledged Roach's intense training, but reminded everyone that the gym isn't the ring, the real test. He said, comes when the punches land, when your lungs burn, and the pressure is real. For Ellis, it's Davis's grit, not highlight reel sparring that will matter most.
To be another great fucking matchup, and they say, you know, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you know, you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well in his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight, shit, he'll get a third fight.
Right.
You know,
Mikey, what do you make of him saying he wants to go to therapy to fix his like mental health, but not yet because he doesn't want to get fixed yet because he needs that
in the ring? Then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're...
It seems like a lot of fighters if you're going through stuff and they get in the
ring. If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him fucking do it. Let him do it. I don't know. Dude, I had personal stuff. A lot of fighters have life issues. It's life, bro. This is our job, but their life keeps going. Life continues.
You have to juggle this with life.
You have to juggle. You have to balance. And it's tough, bro. It ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. You gotta be dealing with family, with kids, with wives, with girlfriends.
You know what's crazy that I always see the same stories.
A second straight setback could be devastating for GervontaDavis, not just on paper, but in terms of legacy. One loss can be chalked up to a bad night, but 2 in a row, that's when the questions start. For Davis, this isn't just a rematch, it's a career-defining moment. He has to show the world he's still elite.
Oh, is the rematch happening or what? Because I'm ready to see a motherfucker get knocked out again. I'm not here to debate because y'all really go neck and neck for this for the rest of the tournament on who y'all think really won, who y'all think should have won, who y'all think didn't win. This is probably one of the biggest debates that will never be solved. Well, they put up a good fight. I'm not going to lie, y'all, but damn near seemed like it was set up for them to have another match. Because exactly what Lamont did to Tank the whole first half, that's what Tank did to Lamont the whole second half. So what the fuck? It literally went neck for neck. I feel like it was a tie in my opinion. So hard to even say that though, because you just see so much demolishment from one and then for it to flip to the other and it just had your mind like, what? Just really had your mind blown. Like, what the fuck? I feel like when it came to the decision of the fight, a lot of people were real biased. A lot of people definitely went off of just their personal opinion of the person, their history of liking the person, not off of the fight itself. I will admit that really going into this fight, the first time, I thought Lamont was going to get his shit knocked off. I thought Tank was going to do him in. Now, although Tank, if I'm not going to lie, Lamont had him. He stuck with him the whole 12. You know anything about boxing, especially boxing a motherfucker like Tank, you know that to flex the last 12 rounds just as much as it is to beat a motherfucker. The fact that Lamont lasted 12 rounds with him was really getting up, I'm not gonna lie, stinging shit, all 12. It showed that this next match gonna really show who the fucking winner was. I do gotta say, Tank probably gonna come ready for him, but the fact that Lamont came ready for him, as ready for him as he did last match, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared for both of them. It should be bigger than the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna lie. They say it's supposed to be happening in the summer, which would be a really good way to kick off the summer. And I know these two got a vengeance out for each other. Regardless of growing up together and fighting together, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The way that fight went down, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like this is gonna be history. Like, I can't wait to watch this shit.
Ellis hinted at major changes happening behind the scenes. In Davis's camp, strategy shifts kept under wraps. That secrecy has only amped up the buzz around the fight. Whatever adjustments are being made, Team Davis believes they'll flip the script and make this rematch unforgettable.
What do you see?
Both of them, like I said, they both at top of the game. I see a competitive fight, nice, clean, crispy shots like the first fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't speak on what I seen, but the fight will be different.
Right, because you could strategize and do different things.
Yeah, it'll be different.
Rolando Rolly Romero stood by Davis, reminding fans that even the greats have off nights. He's not worried. One bad fight doesn't erase everything Tank's done, Romero said. He's still the biggest name in boxing. In Rolly's eyes, Davis is coming back stronger than ever.
That people want to discredit Tank, he's still a pound for pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night, or
everybody has an off night? Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night with Cruz. Everyone has a night. It's boxing.
You want to run that back with Cruz or what?
Maybe down the line.
Teofimo Lopez noticed something after the fight. Davis was left standing alone. As the backlash rolled in, critics turned fast, questioning his skill and heart for Lopez. This rematch is Davis's shot at redemption. It's about regaining respect and rewriting the story. The pressure is real, and so is the opportunity.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
Sean Porter gave Davis his flowers, calling him one of the smartest and most powerful fighters in the division. Porter said Davis's ability to read his opponents and adjust mid-fight makes him a threat to anyone. He warned critics not to count. Tank out his mix of brains and brawn still makes him elite.
And the thing that I really appreciate about Tank is he's a dog. That kind of that what he just said. You can put them earmuffs up and go at it. He kind of will assess you as well, and whatever he needs to do, he'll do it. So
GervontaDavis is locked in like never before. His training is brutal speed, power, precision, all sharpened with purpose. He's not just looking for a win. He wants to dominate and erase all doubt. Every sweat-soaked session is a message. Tank is coming to reclaim his throne and remind the world who he really is.
Everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They say it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident because you gonna go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he go in there confident thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off, I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's go fold. You going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's gonna get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. Confident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont, this from the same camp, we from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up, because you got to think, Tank not used to losing